Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a little look into r/relationships. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Okay then, so this first one was posted by Caribou and is titled I, 25M, feel smothered by my boyfriend, 25M, of 14 months. He uses Life 360 to track me and calls me constantly. How do I end this? Just walk away. Take Life 360 off your phone. There's a few things you could do straight away. I've been dating my boyfriend since November 2024. For a while now, I've been feeling off about the relationship lately. And I'm finally realizing why. I feel like I have zero breathing room. Funnily enough, in a post that I read a few videos back, there was a bit of a mention of Life 360. I think it was in the AmIOverreacting, not Life 360, but tracking someone's location and knowing where they are. And I said in a relationship, I feel like that is just not okay. Unless obviously each person is explicitly okay with it and it's not for nefarious reasons. It's something like, the person works in a job where maybe they're driving a lot or at night time, then I get it. But on a day-to-day basis, in a normal average relationship, I feel like it oversteps boundaries of just having a bit of privacy. And I feel we're going to really see that now with this post. So yeah, let's read on anyway. Early on, he convinced me to download Life 360 so we could see each other's locations. He told me it was in case one of us got in a car crash or for emergencies. Now it feels like a digital leash. Every single time I leave work or leave my house, he sees a notification and calls me asking me where I'm going. We end up spending hours on the phone every single evening and weekday. He says, I get really anxious when I'm not on the phone with you. Yeah, no, that's not okay. I feel like that is trying to tether the OP down by being like on the phone to them constantly. No, don't like that. He calls me all the time and we end up talking for hours and hours, even times where we don't talk and just exist on the phone. At first it was nice, but after about a year, I really just want to have my quiet time. Fair one, honestly. I've realised I don't want to spend my entire night on the phone. Most of the time, the conversations feel one-sided because he talks about his interests non-stop, and I'm just exhausted. I've been feeling a lot of stress lately with my new job in hotel maintenance. I'm also tired of the guilt trips when I don't come over early enough to his place. Did I mention that the drive to his place is around an hour drive one way? He refuses to go to my place. Oh, it gets better and better, doesn't it? I'm at the point where I just want something different and I'm ready to move on. Since we've been together for over a year, I'm struggling with how to actually do the breakup when he's so used to being in constant contact with me. That is not your worry. You are not responsible for his feelings and the way he is so extremely codependent and wants to know everything about when you're going to go and wipe your asshole. Like, this is not healthy. This is a very toxic setup. Just cut them off. And, I always see people say, oh, you shouldn't break up with someone over the phone. You should do it face to face. Nah. If that person is toxic and likely to try and manipulate you into not breaking up, or likely to try and coerce you, or they're gonna flip their lid, or you have a fear that they're just gonna act in a bad way, mate, do it over the phone. I'm not gonna judge you for it. I think it's a good idea. I don't see why it's such a big thing of, oh, you have to break up face to face. Yeah, maybe if that person was a really good person and actually there was no creepy things going on in the relationship, but I don't think it's a bad thing to do. Yeah, and I will die on that hill. I also just want someone who isn't an hour away with good traffic, hour and a half with bad traffic. Has anyone dealt with a partner who uses tracking apps to monitor you? How do I break this off cleanly? TLDR, boyfriend uses Life 360 to call me the second I move locations. We spend hours on the phone every night and I feel smothered. I want to break up, but I don't know what to say or how to go about it. Let's have a look what the comments say, shall we? Classic Iced Tea says, delete the app and tell him it's over. Exactly. And then Initial Promise 8610 says, delete the app, block him on everything, and don't get drawn into a negotiation. This level of monitoring isn't love, it's control. Okay then, so next post, posted by Angel on Fire. Boyfriend, M38, doesn't want to split bills equally with me, F30. Should I compromise or call it quits? If you are having to compromise on bills with a 38-year-old man, it's probably time to call it quits, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just get gone, love. I, F30, make $31 an hour and my boyfriend, 38M, makes $45 an hour. He wants to pay $600 a month and no utilities. He currently pays $800 to rent a room and he's telling me that he can't afford $800. My rent is $2K. I'm worried that if I agree to $600, it'll never be equal. Are there any ways to try and make this equal or compromise, or are we just incompatible? He agreed to pay all the groceries but not utilities. He has an electric car and I've already noticed when he charges all day my electric bill will double those days, but he doesn't want to pay the electricity bill at all. Okay, so how much does he actually work and how much is he bringing in per month? Salary wise or wage wise. It doesn't really matter whether it's salary or wage, just how much does he bring in on average? Because if the OP is earning less but is able to pay 2K rent on their own, and he's saying he can't afford the 800 rent he's paying now and would only want to pay 600, he's not managing his money very well, obviously. Edit? I was already leaning towards ending the relationship, but he loves to tell me I'm stubborn and don't care about his finances. Sounds like he doesn't care about his finances, to be honest. All of your comments have proved that this scenario is a good reason to be stubborn, especially when it comes to money. I'm going to end the relationship. I don't want to be paying majority. I want partnership. Exactly, yeah. And again, it seems he is just really crap with money if he is struggling when he is on more per hour than the OP. Either he barely works or he is not managing his finances well at all, and he is wasting money here, there, and everywhere, which means that that is why he can't afford it, because again, the OP is paying way more a month outgoings with their rent alone being 2K. Yeah, there's something amiss there, and I would not want to end up in a long-term relationship living with somebody who clearly doesn't manage their finances at all. So down in the comments, Final Blackberry says, why are you fighting with an almost 40-year-old over $200 per month living expenses? Let him stay in his rented room. Exactly. And then Zach the Zesty says, the D must be good. No D is that good. But seriously, why is this a debate? With all respect, OP, grow some balls. Tell him if he's living there, he's paying half rent and utilities, or you'll find someone who will. And then Holt96 says, exactly. He has zero bargaining power here, but a lot of nerve. I'm glad you're leaning towards ending it. Yeah, if the OP doesn't end it, I fear that they're going to end up with the financial burdens of this bloke's terrible choices. And nobody needs that at all. Time to skedaddle before this guy puts them into debt. Okay then, next post, Exotic Praline 7888 says, should I, 29F, stop waiting and move on from my boyfriend, 30M, of 5 years? I, 29F, have been dating my boyfriend 30M for almost 6 years now, and I think I've been very patient with him. I know not everyone likes this concept, but a year and a half ago I told my boyfriend that I want to be engaged by April 2026, because I'm turning 30 by then, and I wanted us to start moving forward in our relationship by then since I want to be married and have kids. He agreed that that was a reasonable timeline, and in my head, surely he would propose months before that date because he said we should be ready. By October 2025, we had a serious conversation about his career and plans, and basically, he said that he needs time to improve a lot of things in his life, and we agreed on February 2026 to check in with each other to see where he is at and if getting engaged would still make sense for us. By February 2026, he explained to me that he has made significant developments in his life and career, that he feels comfortable proposing to me by the end of March. Truthfully, I thought he was just waiting for the conversation to happen and he would have proposed almost immediately. Now we are counting down to the end of March and I was anxious. I expressed my feelings about being a chore since it's like he's waiting to the very last minute to propose. He told me that he had already bought the ring, but he realized that he actually wasn't ready because, as he stands right now, he doesn't feel like he deserves me and he needs more time to do better. I'm sorry, they've been together 6 years? And he's saying, "Oh, I don't feel like I deserve you and I need more time to do better." Now, I'm not one of them people that feels like you need to get married. Like, I think you can be in a relationship forever and not be married and it be a perfect relationship and you can both be really happy. However, some people want marriage, and I imagine this isn't the first time the OP's made it very clear that they want marriage and kids out of a relationship. And then for him to say that he doesn't think he deserves her. You've been together 6 years. How have you only just come to this conclusion, mate? This feels like excuses. And I honestly don't think he ever planned to propose from the first conversation, to be fair. I asked why he can't continue working on himself while we're engaged, and he said he would feel more comfortable if I gave him more time to work on other things and plan for the best proposal ever. I feel this is just keeping the OP placated. I don't feel he actually means that. He asked if he can give me a promise ring instead for now, and I felt insulted because we are way past that stage. Isn't an engagement ring just like the same? Oh my goodness. But he said he wanted to be able to show me that he's still committed to me and he is working on himself for me. Part of me wants to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm thinking I've waited this long, I can wait a bit more, and maybe he will improve and commit. The other half feels that he will just keep delaying until it's too late. Although he insists that he respects my biological timeline, my gut just feels that his readiness may never come. I'm wondering whether it would take longer for him to be ready or for me to find someone else and start over. TLDR, I wanted to be engaged by a certain time. Boyfriend waited till last minute to tell me he's not ready. Now I don't know if I should start moving on. I think this is a very personal decision to make, obviously, but let me put myself in those shoes. If I had said that that's what I wanted, I'd made it very clear. He'd waited till the last minute to the date where I'd said, right, I need this to have happened by then, and he all of a sudden has been telling me that whole time, yeah, I'm working on it. We're gonna get there. Don't worry. And then in the last minute, he says, oh, actually, I'm not ready. Here's a promise ring. I'll be like, mate, get you're having me on here. You're pulling me along by my short and curlies, and I've had enough. I'm gone. Because yeah, if the OP does want kids and marriage and what have you, and that is really important to them, I don't think it's guaranteed with this guy. And if that is something that is more important to them than anything else, I do think it's a conflict of interest, and it is probably time to part ways so that they can both find relationships that have what they want, because otherwise they're going to be 5 years down the line with a whole lot of resentment and no further forward. Okay then, so let's have a look what the comments say, shall we? True Believer 14 says, he's never going to be ready. The fact that he offered a promise ring means that he thinks that he can buy you off with a ring and he will drag it out a few more years. Look up the definition of a sunk cost fallacy. And then Princess Zuko says, I don't remember where I heard or read it, but Someone referred to promise rings as shut up rings, and in my experience, beyond teens, that is 100% what they are for. That is probably a really good description for them. I'm sure some people do get promise rings with all the good intentions and they continue on and do what they promised to do when they handed over that ring. But yeah, I swear we've read a post very similar to this before, where it was a dude giving this woman a promise ring, and it was because she wouldn't move in with him until they were engaged. So he was like, I'll give you a promise ring, and I promise we will get engaged after a year living together, promise, and it never happened at all. So then Insipid Celebrity says, right, when you're an adult, that promise to get married ring is called an engagement ring. Exactly, it's literally the same thing. Cut your losses, move on, that's what I say. Okay then, next post. This post was posted by then11594, gold digger that pays for everything, with a bunch of question marks. 26F and my boyfriend, 28M, and I have been together for a year and a half. He's worked for 5 months between 2 jobs since we got together, and I've had my same job since before we had met. Now we are, or were, engaged. I don't really know where we stand right now. All I've asked for is for him to get a job to pay for his phone and his car. That's it. I'll pay the rent, the utilities, the food, fuck everything else. Just please cover your own shit. My love, he's having your pants down. But now I'm being told that I am a gold digger because I'll just take advantage of him if he gets a job, because he'll have the money for me to take. He's mentally not as well as anyone would hope, and had an episode the other day and broke everything off before packing and leaving. That's when you should have changed the locks. You missed it there. You missed the chance. Now it's my fault for being a little bit distant and needing certain things to change in order for me to be able to buy myself clothes, let alone continue the relationship. I love him, but I don't think I can do it anymore. He has squatters' rights to the house we live in and I rent, so it'd be a whole process to get him out. That should tell you everything you need to know on whether you should break up with them. He is leeching off the OB. And I understand, people go through poor mental health, and I 100% understand how hard that is. Do not get me wrong. But I don't think that's what's going on here. I don't think it's a poor mental health situation. I think he is genuinely leeching. I think that's what's going on here. And when the OP stands up for themselves, I don't think it was an episode he had an episode because of his mental health and broke everything off and packed and left. I think it's because the OP was actually asking him to put in a bit of effort. I have 0 money to my name, no family that is willing to help, and I just feel so alone. I don't know what to do and have no one to turn to. Edit, yes, I understand how stupid and desperate I seem. Believe me, there's nothing you all could tell me that I haven't already said to myself. I'm so angry and ashamed with myself for allowing this to happen. I'm disgusted with myself for letting all of this go just to avoid being alone. TLDR, my boyfriend hasn't worked our entire relationship and I pay for 100% of everything. Now that I have voiced a problem with this dynamic, I'm suddenly a gold digger. That bit cracks me up. Like, what gold, mate? What gold? So, down in the comments, individual Sorbet6 says, girl, what? He's calling you a gold digger when you're literally bankrolling his entire existence. That's some next level projection right there. You're not asking for much. Just wanted him to cover his own phone and car while you handle literally everything else. The fact that he's spinning this into you being the problem when you're stretched so thin you can't even buy clothes is wild. Cut his phone off. Cut his phone off. Stop paying for his car. I'm assuming they're in his name. That's what I'd do. I'd be like, you want to pay? Get a job. He's gonna either have to get a job or it'll make him move out. Either way, win-win. But yeah, the OP saying like that they know they're stupid and blah blah blah. Honestly, I think it's incredible the amount of people that accidentally end up falling into relationships like this, because people that are very leechy, like that boyfriend, are so manipulative, and they make them feel like they have to do it. Like they said, the OP is fully there saying, oh, he had an episode because of his mental health and packed up and moved out. No, he didn't. He had an episode because he didn't like the OP, wanted him to chip in. That's all it was. It was a tantrum, not an episode. Mental health is absolutely important, of course, but let's not get it twisted. We cannot start excusing people for financially abusing someone, essentially, because of their mental health. We cannot do that. It's not something that should ever be accepted. You cannot sit there and excuse somebody doing that and leeching off somebody and say, oh, it's their mental health. Absolutely not, because mental health or no mental health, you still know right from wrong at the end of the day, you know? And if he really doesn't, well, it's time to reach out and get him some help. Anyway, I think that's all we've got time for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Do not forget to leave a little snack for Al by leaving a comment. This one he's going to have for breakfast, by the way. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.